Dressed for matrimony, a break from a campaign that's lacked harmony. The Prime Minister got to do something today which has evaded him for most of the election. Look Prime Ministerial. The occasion, the state visit of the Japanese Emperor. A happy distraction from a disastrous election campaign and what many in the Conservatives now consider an inevitable, unceremonious divorce from the nation.
I committed an error of judgement, not an offence, and I want to reiterate my apology directly to you.
But it was an error of judgement for which Craig Williams has now lost Conservative Party support for this election.
Hi, my name's Saunders.
As too has their candidate for Bristol North West, both been investigated by the Gambling Commission for allegedly betting on the timing of the election.
So the party did take the time to look at these allegations properly, consult with the Gambling Commission to make sure this action doesn't prejudice what the Gambling Commission is doing. It did take, 5 or 6 days to do that, but now that's been done, decisive action has been taken and they're no longer supported by the Conservative Party.
When Rishi Sunak marched out into the rain to call the election on May 22nd, unbeknown to him, as he got wetter and wetter, the seeds of this scandal were planted 3 days earlier when his own parliamentary private secretary, Craig Williams, walked into a local betting shop and placed a bet on there being a July election. Then, 3 weeks later, the party still recovering from the Prime Minister's decision to leave D-Day commemorations early, the news of Craig Williams' bet breaks. A week later, one of the Prime Minister's close protection officers was arrested for allegedly also placing a bet. On June 20th, it was revealed the Gambling Commission was investigating Laura Saunders, candidate for Bristol North West. Later that day, her husband, Tory Director of Campaigning, Tony Lee, took leave of absence and is also being looked into by the betting industry regulator. 2 days ago, the fourth Conservative Chief Data Officer, Nick Mason, investigated for alleged betting. Then today, the Met Police announced another 5 officers investigated by the Gambling Commission for alleged bets. And 2 weeks after the story first broke, the Conservatives finally withdrew support for their 2 candidates.
Why on earth didn't they do this on day one? It beggars belief that it took this long. I think the next thing we need a bit of clarity on is if any of them are elected, are they going to have the whip? So no, I don't think they've gone quite far enough. I think it's taken far too long and they haven't said what's going to happen next.
On the ground in Bristol North West, exasperation, regardless of who you vote for.
It feels a bit like some of the unconservative party members are trying to destroy their party altogether, which makes you wonder a bit just how conservative some of them really are. I find the whole thing really quite sad.
One damn thing after another. I think Rishi's very clever. I know people don't admire him, and I think he's made some mistakes, but I think he's good. But the rest of them are a load of horrors.
I think people who are still lingering Tories have that kind of faith to the end, but I think everybody has long since jumped off that ship and gone to somewhere else by this point.
I'm Kevin Craig.
The latest twist in this tale, a surreal one. The bet, not the when, but the outcome. And Kevin Craig bet on himself to lose, which he now describes as a huge mistake. Labour say, in contrast to the Conservatives, they suspended Mr Craig straight away. The one thing transcending party politics, though, a lack of judgement among some candidates.